It is official. Jake Paul will take on Anthony Joshua December 19th in Miami in a professional heavyweight contest. Now, this morning at around 8 a.m., Jake Paul made a post on X and he says, "Yes, it's real. Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua will go head to head in a pro heavyweight fight live only on Netflix Friday, December 19th." Now, we knew this was coming. Mike Coppinger did make a post about this. He broke the news last week, and also the Ring did. So we knew about this. We just weren't sure on the date and things like that. They said it was on Netflix, but I had a concern with Anthony Joshua being the zone exclusive fighter. Um, and also Saturday on the Conor Ben Chris Eubank card, Turkey. There was a segment where Turkey was speaking, and he said that Anthony Joshua was gonna fight in Riyadh in February. So that was kind of like it kind of gave me doubts about the fight a little bit. Like, maybe it isn't finalized, maybe it isn't gonna happen, and but I mean, here it is, sure as hell. Jake Paul just posted it, got the poster and everything, got the date. You know. Also, I don't know if this is real or not. Um, it is from Nikisa apparently, but I didn't see Nikisa say this. But this is posted from IFN Boxing, which I don't really see them post any fake news or anything like that. So I'm assuming this is real, but take it with a grain of salt just in case. But it says that Anthony Joshua has a weight limit of 245 pounds for his bout against Jake Paul. Now, you can't really say it's unfair. Jake Paul, knowing Jake Paul's an amateur level fighter, like he's not a professional yet, like skill wise and ability wise. So I mean, I don't really have a problem with it. I still think AJ just knocks him out, which we're gonna get to the pre-fight breakdown and predictions in a little bit. But yeah, also, if you just look at the tail of the tape, it's ridiculous, bro. The only thing Jake Paul has on Anthony Joshua is age. Anthony Joshua is 5 inches taller, 52 pounds heavier, which he can't come in this heavy. He can only come in at 245 or under, apparently. Again, take it with a grain of salt. I don't know if that's legit or not. He has what is that, 6 inch, his reach is 6 inches longer. He had 42 more amateur fights. Like, it's just, you know what I mean? Now, I was at 19 more pro fights. Like, it's, you know, we know what this is, man. Do I think Jake Paul believes he's gonna win this fight? Yes, I do think Jake Paul thinks he's gonna win this fight, which we're gonna get more to that in a little bit. But we're just gonna cover this also. Friday, November 21st at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. if you're on the West Coast, 12 p.m. Central, 11 a.m. Mountain Time, I think is what it's called. They're gonna be having a press conference. It's gonna be on YouTube, so you could just look at it there. If anything interesting happens, I'll break it down on my YouTube right after the press conference. So, yeah. Now let's get into the pre-fight predictions. All right, I'm gonna give my thoughts on this fight. Now, after this fight got announced, I looked at some tape of Anthony Joshua, and man, maybe it's just been a while since I seen Anthony Joshua. Like, last time I seen any tape on him was when he fought live against Daniel Dubois. I watched that fight. That's the last time I seen anything of Anthony Joshua. He hasn't been in the ring. I haven't looked at any fights or anything. So I went back. I didn't watch the highlights. I watched the full fight. I watched the Otto Wallin fight, the Daniel Dubois fight, and the Francis Ngannou fight. AJ's nice, bro. Even Danny Dubois. First of all, in the Danny Dubois fight, anytime that dude chin got touched, his whole body was shook. So I don't know how hard Dubois hit. That dude must hit like a Mack truck. But which I think that is the fight giving Jake confidence. But I'm gonna break down in a second why I don't think that should give him any confidence. Why I don't think that's gonna play a factor into this fight. But Anthony Joshua is so much better. Look at Jake Paul's. I think his last three fights, I looked at them. Julio Cesar Chavez, Mike Tyson, Mike Perry. Terrible. Mike Perry. I guess Mike Perry. It was good in terms of he beat up Mike Perry. But if you look at Jake, he looked terrible. He looked sloppy. He looked tired. He looked slow. Against Mike, he looked fat. He looked sloppy. He looked slow. And against Julio Cesar Chavez, he looked good for like the first 3-4 rounds, and then after that it was bad. Julio Cesar Chavez, anytime he put any combinations together, it looked like he could have got Jake Paul out of there if he really tried to. But whether it's him being old, the drug abuse, him being way over the hill, and just not having the gas tank to really put it on Jake Paul for whatever reason he wasn't able to. So that's why the fight didn't go in his favor. But one thing, two things. First, a lot of people say that Jake Paul has a puncher's chance in this fight because Anthony Joshua just got knocked out, his lack of defense. But I don't think he does, because if you look at all the dudes that he's dropped and hurt, they were all smaller than him, right? Anthony Joshua was 6'6", 250 pounds. I don't think he's hurting Anthony Joshua. I know Daniel Dubois did. Daniel Dubois is huge. Jake Paul, I don't think he has that type of power to even hurt Anthony Joshua. 2, I don't know if Jake Paul has a chin. If you watch the Julio Cesar Chavez fight, look at Jake Paul's facial expressions when he gets hit with punches. Don't watch the highlights, watch the full fight. Rounds 1 through 10. Look at how he reacts when he gets hit. He doesn't like it. I think once Anthony Joshua hits him with some big shots, he's going to go instantly. So, those are my thoughts on the fight. I mean, there's nothing to really break down at the moment. As the fight gets closer, I'll go more in depth. I'll look at more tape. I'll give a real analysis. But, I mean, for now, I mean, you could say, yeah, Anthony Joshua has the left hand down. Kind of goes with that pull counter right a lot. Gives himself open. When he throws that uppercut, he gives himself open. I don't think Jake's good enough to capitalize on Anthony Joshua's defensive holes. And I don't think Jake's defense is good enough to be able to not get hit with those shots. I think if Anthony Joshua does that pull counter, Jake Paul drops his right hand when he jabs. I think he'll catch him with that. He kind of dips under a little bit when he gets hit with shots. He doesn't really know how to react well, so I think he'll be very vulnerable for the uppercut. I just don't see it going his way at all. I don't think this is going to be good for him, but money talks, you know what I mean? Opportunity talks. If he wins this fight, you can't say he's not a real boxer. He's definitely a real boxer. If Jake Paul wins this fight, I'll give him all the praise in the world. I don't think he will. A lot of people, if he wins, they'll be like, oh yeah, it's rigged, this and that. I don't think Jake Paul ever rigged any of his fights. I don't. I'm not a Jake Paul fan. I'm not a hater. I'm not a weirdo. Just because I don't like somebody doesn't mean I'm going to hate on what they've done. It's amazing he even came this far. To be a YouTuber, a guy who started boxing at like 22, 23. I mean, to go from that a little scrawny YouTuber, a little bit feminine, to, knocking out Tyron Woodley the way he did, dropping Anderson Silva, knocking out Ben Askren and all them. Like, even to do stuff like that, knocking out Mike Perry, to be a YouTuber and come into boxing and do the things he's done already, he's already surpassed all expectations. I think if he loses this fight, he has nothing to be ashamed of. I mean, no one thought he'd even make it this far, so the fact he did is insane. If you look at that whole YouTube boxing scene, he made it the farthest by far. It was him and KSI. Where's KSI now? You don't even hear about him in the boxing scene. So it just goes to show you, I think he's past the level that he was supposed to. I think Jake Paul hasn't really improved the last 2 years. I think he's reached his ceiling, his max potential. I think this is as far as he's going to be able to go. He doesn't have that much time he can't catch up to everybody else who's been boxing their whole lives. He's only been boxing 8 years now? So, yeah, 8 years. Started no, 6 years. He's been boxing 7 years. Sorry. 7 years now. Because he fought Deji in 2018, so that was 7 years ago. So, yeah, man. I mean, let me know what you guys think in the comments. I don't think it's going to be good for him at all. I don't think anyone thinks Jake Paul's going to win. See a lot of people trolling, saying Jake Paul's going to knock him out, this and that. They're trolling. Or they just don't know nothing about boxing. They just talking. But I think most of them are just trolling. So, yeah, very excited for this fight. Let me know what you guys think. And, yeah.